Hello, my name is Mr. Ippolito, and I am your child's 8th grade U.S. History and Government teacher here at Rio Norte Junior High School. Thank you so much for joining me. Here's my Back to School Night 2020 presentation, so let's begin. First of all, who is Mr. Ippolito? He's the guy who needs to move his circle out of the way. First of all, I am a proud product of the Hart District. I graduated from Canyon High School. I went to UCLA after that, and then I came right back after I was done at UCLA, and I have been teaching in the Hart District now for the last 25, this is my 25th year teaching in the Hart District. 11 of those years have been right here at Rio Norte Junior High School. This is a great school, and I'm very happy to have your child here. I'm also very happy to have my own child here at Rio Norte Junior High School. You see in this picture here, this is my daughter, Libby. She's an 8th grader this year. My wife, Heather, she's the PTSA president here at Rio Norte. So we are definitely very much a Rio Norte family. We love this school, and I think we're very fortunate to be a part of this school community. So, big question, what will my child be learning in 8th grade history and government? Let's check it out. We'll do a quick overview. First of all, right now we're learning about the roots of American government. So where did we get all of these ideas about democracy and republic and due process of law and all these rights? Ancient Greece, ancient Rome, Magna Carta, the glorious revolution of England back in the 1600s. So all these things are things that we're learning right now, trying to connect those as much as possible to current events, which is also a thing that we're doing right now. And I will continue to try to do all year long, because I tell your child, I'm trying to make, as much as possible, try to make U.S. history not just the study of dead people. We're trying to make it so that we learn how the past connects with the present, so that we can try to make sense of this whole thing and make it more relevant to our lives today. We're then going to move on to the American Revolution, specifically focusing on the Declaration of Independence, kind of what it means, break that down, and how it has inspired us, not only inspired a revolution in 1776, but inspired us throughout our history. So we'll be learning about the Revolution and the Declaration of Independence, followed by the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, all the rights that we enjoy as Americans. We're then going to learn about the early republic, right? The presidency of George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson. You see these two guys right here, Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson, the beginnings of our two-party system. We're going to connect that to our modern two-party system in the presidential election, where we will have civil, respectful, polite discussions about important topics that our country is facing right now. So we then move on from the early republic and we continue on into the War of 1812. That's in the presidency of James Madison. There's General Andrew Jackson right there. Learn about that, the development of the Star-Spangled Banner as our national anthem, all of that went down there. We move then later into not only the study of like wars and presidents, but also of art and literature. This is a painting from the Hudson River School, painted in either the 1820s or 1830s. So we're going to stop and learn about that as well. So like I said, art and then also literature. This is a scene from The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. We will be reading this excerpts from this right around the time of Halloween, which is appropriate. The author here is Washington Irving, one of the very first like truly American authors in our history. Then we move into the presidency of Andrew Jackson, very controversial presidency of Andrew Jackson. We'll learn about Jacksonian democracy and all of the things that made Andrew Jackson a hero to the United States, but also kind of the dark side of Andrew Jackson as well. So we'll be having a debate. Was Andrew Jackson a hero or a villain, or maybe somewhere in between? And, there's a lot of gray area when it comes to the legacy of Andrew Jackson. So we'll be learning about that. And then we go into Manifest Destiny, right? Westward expansion, the pioneers, the California gold rush, the interaction between American settlers moving west and the Native Americans, the railroad, the telegraph, all of that. The Texas Revolution, this is actually a painting that my family and I have seen in person in Austin, Texas. And so I'll be sharing a lot of my personal stories of my travels with my family around the country. The California gold rush, like we talked about, pioneer women, oh my goodness. Having to wear a full dress, head covering, trying to be modest as a pioneer woman. I love this image because this is the ultimate expression of those pioneer women. She's, of course, she's wearing very modest, heavy clothing, but what is she pulling in that wheelbarrow? Buffalo chips. So we'll talk about the struggles of not only pioneer women, but women throughout our history. We'll then be contrasting the industrial North with the plantation South as we move closer and closer and closer into the end, what we call the antebellum period, the time period before the Civil War, where North and South grew apart so much economically, culturally, politically, that we were actually, as Americans, willing to kill each other in the Civil War. This will be studying around April or early May, the battles of the Civil War, the causes and effects of the Civil War, of course, the Gettysburg Address and the role of President Abraham Lincoln in the Civil War. And then we'll be finishing off with a brief study of Reconstruction and kind of the legacy of the Civil War. And that will take us through the end of the school year. Now, not only will we be learning about the history standards, but we'll be learning about, let me move my circle across here if I can. There we go. But we'll also be treating each other with respect, right? In this classroom, I expect my students to be honest, responsible, compassionate, considerate, present, just as I will be for them. I'll be modeling that, and good to each other each and every day, especially in this time of distance learning. We just got to be good to each other. As William Butler Yeats said, education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. And I want your child to be inspired to love history, to love this country. This country is not perfect. We still have room to grow and learn and become a better nation, but we still have a lot to be proud of. And I think what is most to love about this country is its people. And that's what we're studying in this class, is the history of the American people. So what do I need from you as a parent? First of all, install the Infinite Campus app on your phone. It's going to give you a great amount of information with regard to both grades and attendance. So every time I put in an assignment or another teacher puts in an assignment, you're going to see that assignment go in. You're going to see that grade go up or down, right? So this is a really easy way, just right on your phone, to stay on top of what your child's progress is. And if they ever get into any kind of trouble, you will know that. Also, you'll get attendance alerts as well. So if they're ever not showing up to class, you're going to get that information as well. And especially with distance learning, and especially if you can't be supervising them all the time in distance learning, that is going to be important information for you to have as well. If you're wondering if your child is telling the truth, if they say, oh, yeah, no, I don't have any homework at all. Well, just as President Ronald Reagan said, trust but verify, and check MrIppolito.com. I'm going to show you that in just a moment. A lot of the work, like the detail stuff, is going to go into Google Classroom. You can always ask your child about Google Classroom, and you can go in and check and see what they're learning. But a real easy way, without even having to log in as your child or do anything with their Google anything, is just simply to visit MrIppolito.com. I'm going to show you that right now, or in just a moment. Talk about school with your child every day. Stay close to your child. I know that 8th grade, as they become teenagers, that's kind of when they start to push away and I don't want to talk and everything's fine and don't bother me. But really, this is the time when they need you in their life the most. At some point, you can ask me why teenagers are like plantation houses in Hawaii and barbecue chicken. My first time I recorded this presentation, I went 16 minutes. So if you want, you can watch the director's cut of my back to school night presentation. It was much longer and I tell that story, but I don't have time to tell it right now. But I do want to get to the very end here where I say, let's keep in touch. If you have any questions, email me at rippolito@heartdistrict.org. My email address is on the website. You can find me there as well, or on the web, MrIppolito.com. And I'm going to click here because then it's going to take us to my website. And of course, I've turned it, the big craze this year is the Bitmoji classroom. And so here's my Bitmoji classroom right here. This is what I show students every day. This is our daily agenda. They can see it, but you can see it as well, right? So this is our agenda. I'm recording this on Tuesday evening, September 1st. This is literally what we learned in class today. So if you wanted to, if you're seeing this on Thursday and you see homework, continue working on Greek, Roman, and English influences, that's their homework that's due tomorrow. So you can ask your child, hey, can you show me the Greek, Roman, and English influences assignment that you're working on? It has to do with current events. Why don't you show me that? Show me what you're learning. Show me what you're doing. And if they can say, oh, yeah, here it is, and they can show it to you, then good to go. And if they're like, wait, no, it's not. No, if they start like stumbling or making excuses or I can't find it, well, it's right in their Google login. So you can check on that with them. And every single day, if you go back, you can go back in time. And if you just advance the slides, here's the lesson before and the lesson before and the lesson before. It is wide open. Like my history class is an open book to you. So if you have any questions, always check MrIppolito.com or just reach out to me. And I really appreciate your time. Thank you for being here for our virtual back to school night. I wish I could see you in person, but hopefully that will happen sometime in the near future. Until then, thanks so much and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.